Lena sat alone in the small living room, hugging her stomach. Her mother, Grace, was busy preparing dinner when she heard a soft whimper. She turned around to see Lena clutching her abdomen, her face pale. "Lena, what's wrong?" Grace asked, rushing to her daughter's side. "It hurts. So much," Lena whispered, tears brimming in her eyes. Fear gripped Grace's heart. Her daughter had been sick for days, but this was different. Grace gently touched Lena's forehead, cold and clammy. She could barely stand. Without hesitation, Grace grabbed her coat and keys. "We're going to the hospital," she said, her voice firm but shaking. Lena nodded weakly, leaning on her mother as they made their way outside. At the hospital, the emergency room was packed with patients. Nurses hurried back and forth, attending to those in need. Grace ran to the front desk, holding on to Lena tightly. "Please, my daughter. She's in terrible pain." A nurse took one look at Lena's fragile state and immediately called for a doctor. Dr. Morgan, a middle-aged woman with kind but sharp eyes, rushed over. "Bring her to the examination room now." Lena was placed on a stretcher and wheeled away. Grace followed, her heart pounding. As soon as they reached the room, Dr. Morgan began her examination. Lena winced as the doctor gently pressed on her abdomen. "She's severely dehydrated," Dr. Morgan noted. "We need to run some tests." A nurse quickly drew blood and hooked Lena up to an IV. Grace sat beside her daughter, holding her hand. "It's going to be okay, sweetheart," she whispered. Lena gave a faint smile, but said nothing. An hour later, Dr. Morgan returned with Lena's test results. Her face was unreadable. "Mrs. Grace," she said, pulling up a chair. Grace's hands trembled. "What is it, doctor?" Dr. Morgan took a deep breath. "Lena is pregnant." Silence filled the room. Grace's breath caught in her throat. "You must be mistaken," she finally said, shaking her head. "My daughter is only 12. Dr. Morgan's gaze softened, but her voice remained firm. "I know this is hard to believe, but the tests don't lie." Tears welled up in Grace's eyes. She turned to Lena, gripping her shoulders. "Lena, is this true?" Lena stared at the wall, silent. Her fingers clutched the bedsheet, her body trembling. "Lena, please," Grace pleaded. At last, Lena let out a quiet sob. Grace pulled her daughter into a hug, her own tears falling. Dr. Morgan stood up. "We need to run more tests and inform the authorities." Grace could only nod, holding her daughter tightly. Lena was safe now. But the truth, however painful, had only just begun to unfold. If you like this story, please give it a like. Subscribe to our channel. Your support keeps us sharing tales like this. We're so grateful. See you soon.